evening from the kitchen, folks. In tonight's recipe, I'm going to be making a slow-cooked ginger chicken with spring onions and cashew nuts, and it's going to be lovely. Let's have a look at those key ingredients. Here they are. So it's chicken, and here's chicken. I've got 2 skinless chicken breast fillets. Note the yellow sticker, what a bargain, $2.44 from 6.11, ka-ching. It's ginger chicken. So I'm using ginger paste. I need cashew nuts. So I've got some Morrison's salted cashew nuts, and I've got some trimmed spring onions just there. I'll be using a little bit of oil. I'll be using a little bit of salt. I've got 2 white onions, an orange capsicum pepper. Doesn't have to be orange, but I've chosen orange one today. 6 white mushrooms. I've got a pack of red chillies. I'm probably going to use 2 of them, but I may end up using 3. Mushroom superior dark soy sauce, but basically any dark soy sauce will do. I've got golden syrup, but you could use brown sugar or honey if you so wished. And I might even put a bit of brown sugar in as well also. I've got, this is an optional extra, mango chutney with lime and ginger. The lime adds a nice bit of bite, and also there's obviously that more ginger in there, and the mango will add to a bit more sweetness. It's an optional extra, it's not something I would always put in. And then I've got some garlic puree. Now at the back, lurking, I've got a bit of plain flour. Because I'm going to make this in the slow cooker, what often happens is things come out quite wet. So I'm adding the flour so I can thicken the sauce a little bit, so it'll just not be quite so runny. Right, let's crack on. Right, I need to chop my onions. So first of all, I'm going to take off the top and the tail. And then I'm going to take the outer layer of skin off, and then that onion gets cut in half, and then I'm just going to dice it into some nice small pieces. I'll come back to you when they're both done. Right, that is the onion chopped. So here's the slow cooker. It's a Morphy Richards. It's got a ceramic bowl inside it. I'm going to shove it on high. I'm going to drizzle a bit of oil in the bottom, and on top of that oil goes my onions. So I'm just going to spread them around in the bottom of there. Put a bit of salt on top of the onion. That will help to draw out the moisture and also enhance the flavour. So they're going to sit there now and do their thing while I carry on. Next up, it's my chicken pieces. Right, so let's have a look at these chicken breasts. They're a lovely colour. Nice yellowy. You can tell that they're free range. Right, I'm just going to give these a little rinse under the tap. And that's what you call a pair of nice breasts. And with each of my breasts, I'm just going to go along with the knife, like so. I'm going to cut into 3 strips. Same again here. And I'm going to cut them this way, and I'm going to get some nice size chunks of chicken, like so. I'll carry on chunking these, and I'll come back to you. So there's my lovely breasts diced up. Now I'm just going to do something which isn't slow cooker, and in fact is air fryer, because what I want to do is just take these chicken pieces and I want to partially cook them a little bit before I put them in the slow cooker. Now I could do this in a frying pan, and I usually do, but I've just decided today to do it in the air fryer, which is basically a mini convection oven. Right, so I'll get the drawer closed. I've got this on 180 degrees Celsius, and I'm going to put them on for 10 minutes, and that should do. So I've got the onions warming in there, I've got the chicken warming in there. Let's carry on with the rest of the recipe. So I'm just going to wash my mushrooms in a bit of hot water. I noticed there were little bits of soil on them, so I want them to be nice and clean. I just do that in a sieve. It's nice and easy doing it that way. And they look good to me. And now I'm just going to chop my mushrooms into quarters. So a nice size like that. They're quite big mushrooms. If they were small ones, I would have just halved them. But when they're nice and chunky like this, I'll quarter them. And these will add a nice bit of texture, as well as some lovely mushroom flavour. I'll get all these done and I'll come back to you. Okay, that's my mushrooms done, and they are going to join their friends, the onions, inside the slow cooker. layer them on top. That's it, I can feel the heat in there. Now, my capsicum pepper. And I'm going to cut the top off the capsicum pepper, just pop that bit out. That's no good, that goes for compost. That's completely edible. And then I cut around the capsicum pepper just like that. Don't worry about that bit of black, it's just off the mushrooms. That comes out for compost, and I've got all this lovely flesh now to go into the recipe. And I want this in nice size pieces. I don't want it in tiny little pieces. I want it to be quite chunky. Has a lot to add to a recipe, does this kind of veg. Or is it technically a fruit? That's a good question. And then the capsicum pepper is also going to go into the slow cooker. So there's lots of veg in there now. So all that veg will begin to heat up and break down and release liquid. So I don't want to put tons of liquid into this because I know it will already be wet anyway with what is going in there. So I've got 2 hot chili peppers. I'm not quite sure how hot they are. We'll find out shortly. But I'm just going to take the tops off. Let's find out. Yeah, they're hot. Okay, definitely no more than 2. In fact, I think what I'm going to do with these is cut them the long way and remove the seeds, because these are actually way hotter than I'd anticipated. I want it to be hot, this, and spicy, but I don't want to blow my head off either. I'm just going to cut these down into slices, like so. Then I'm going to cut them like that, just to break them down so they're not in too big a piece, and they will release their flavours a lot better this way also. Okay, the air fryer's just dinged, so there we go. The chicken is starting to cook. It's partially cooked but not fully cooked. Right, I'm just going to get into my cashew nuts. These are salted cashew nuts. Must quality control the product though. On top of the chicken. Like so. 3 more minutes. Right, my hot chilies are going into this jug, and I'm going to make my sauce now. So on top of those chilies, I'm going to pour some soy sauce. A nice amount. So I have added about 100 ml of soy sauce into there. I'm going to now add a teaspoon of plain flour, and I'm going to shake that on like so. What I want to do is mix it. I just want it to be there as a binder. I don't want it to be a paste, but I don't want it to be too runny. And that's absorbed that quite well, so I'll add a little bit more and do the same thing again. I can feel it thickening up now, so I won't add any more at this point. And that ding that you've just heard is the chicken and the cashew nuts finishing. So next into my sauce goes 1, and it will be a total of 2 heaped teaspoonfuls of ginger paste. And I'm going to bash that around and stir it in. Okay, that's a nice constituency. Then with a clean teaspoon, I'm going to get some of my mango chutney with lime and ginger, and I'm going to do 1, 2 very generous blobs of that. Again, bash that down and stir it in until it breaks up. Yeah, it's a nice thickness, it's good. Then I'm going to add some golden syrup, and you could add brown sugar, or you could add honey, or you could add both, all of the above. I like golden syrup, so I'm going to add that. And this is basically a liquid sugar. It's got a really nice toasty flavour to it. Oh yeah. So that's increased the volume, and it's a lot stiffer now. As it heats though, that will liquefy. Oh, there we go, it's dissolved into it. And then the final ingredient into the sauce is some minced garlic. So a clean teaspoon, and I'm going to add 1, 2, 3 teaspoonfuls of minced garlic into this and stir it all together, and that feels like a really lovely constituency. Okay, this sauce is going into my microwave. I'm going to put it on for 1.5 minutes on maximum power, which is 700 watts, and that should make this come to a gentle boil. Right, let's have a look in the air fryer. So there is the chicken and the cashew nuts, and that looks absolutely superb. So I'm going to pop them there. And now I need to get those out of there into the slow cooker, layered on top of the veg. So the lid has to come off, and I'm just going to go in and I'm going to try and get the chicken underneath with the cashew nuts on top, because that's how I'd like it to be. But if the cashew nuts fall under, it's really fine, it doesn't matter. It smells absolutely brilliant. So this is the current situation inside the slow cooker, and now it's time to add the sauce. And look how lovely and thick and black that sauce is. That's the soy. This is going to be absolutely flavourful. Lid goes on. I'm now going to leave this on high for 90 minutes, and that will just about cook it through. But before the 90 minutes is up, I need to add the spring onions, but I want them to be a bit al dente. So I'll probably do them in about an hour's time. So I'll come back to you then. Okay, it's been 3/4 of an hour, and that is cooking away nicely. But I'm now going to chop up my spring onions. I've got 6 of these, and for each one, I'm simply going to take the bottom off, the end of the top bit, and then I just want to peel off any rough outside layer. Like that. Take it back. So I'm basically taking all the rough bit off and leaving the nice bit, and then with each one I'm simply going to cut them down into pieces like so. So not too small. So I've got to do that with all of these. Okay, so they're chopped and ready to go in 5 minutes time. Right, 5 minutes is up. Let's just have a look at that. It smells absolutely tremendous. I'm just going to push this down. You see, look how liquidy that's gone. That is the slow cooker, that's what it does. It makes everything a lot more liquidy than what you'd anticipate. It releases all of the juices from everything that's in there. Anyway, I'm happy with that. So I'm going to sprinkle my spring onion on top. So that's all on, but I've not quite finished yet, because I want to give it one last drizzle with golden syrup. Sweet and spicy is the name of the game. Right, I'm actually going to give this another 45 minutes, then it's done. Catch you then. Right, I've had a bit of a change round, so I've got the bowls warming on top of the slow cooker. That's just about done. I've got water coming to the boil in this pan, and I'm going to be throwing some noodles into there in just a sec. Right, the water's boiling, so in go the noodles. Four minutes. And just while I'm waiting for the noodles, that is looking pretty darn good to me. Right, the noodles are done. They're coming off the heat into the colander. Big steam bath. The drama. I'm going to begin with the noodles. So a nice generous amount of noodles in each bowl. And this will form the base upon which everything in the slow cooker will go on top of. Let's look at this. Steamy. Get that dished. Oh yes, look at that. That looks absolutely beautiful. Look at the contrast of the colours. I get lots of sauce now. The noodles will take that sauce just perfectly well. That looks pretty damn good. I'm very happy with this. And as ever, the proof is in the tasting, so let's see what it's like. Okay, it looks blooming hot. So much flavour, there's a lot going on, wow. Sweet, salty, spicy, all the veg flavours. That's just one little forkful. Oh, it's absolutely stunning. No apologies for talking with my mouth full. Honestly, you could give me this in a restaurant. It's that good. Not blowing my own trumpet, but seriously, this is very, very flavoursome. Superb. The chicken, the cashew nuts, the veg, the noodles, the sauce, it all goes together so well. So many different flavours in there, so many different textures. I'm really, really happy with it. So I hope you've enjoyed the film. Please like it if you have. Comment on it if you want to leave any comments. Make some suggestions for recipes to me. And if you could subscribe to my channel, I'd massively appreciate it. Thank you. Anyway, it's been an absolute pleasure as always, folks. I need to eat this. So I'll catch you on the next film, whatever that may be. See you later. The film that you've just watched is a Moss Home and Garden production. You can find more by going to www.mosshomeandgarden.co.uk. I'd just like to say thank you very much for supporting my YouTube channel and for watching my films. It really is very much appreciated. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my YouTube channel in order to receive future updates about the home and garden films which I upload. You can find my YouTube channel by going to www.mosshomeandgarden.co.uk. Please click on the red subscribe button. When you've done that, a little bell will appear. If you press that also, then you'll get future updates about the films which I upload. If you like my films, if you like my style of filming, then you might also like my travel channel, which you will find by going to youtube.com/Stuart Moss or type in www.mosstravel.tv. Again, if you could subscribe to that channel, it would be hugely appreciated. If you'd like to get Moss Home and Garden updates on Facebook, then please open Facebook and do a search for Moss Home and Garden, and you will find the page. If you like the page, then you will get future updates on there. And if you'd like to connect on Instagram for home, garden and travel photography, as well as some stories, then my username is StuMoss, STUMOSS. If you'd like to connect on Twitter, then my username is @StuartMoss. And if you'd like to contact me about film usage or any other issue, please just email me on stewmosshomegarden@gmail.com. Once again, thank you very much for supporting my channel, for watching my films. I do appreciate it. I'd just like you all to have a great day.